Super Bowl 58 is less than 2 weeks away, but unlike previous years, the anticipation for the big game doesn't feel as rabid as usual. Maybe it's a case of Chiefs fatigue, Taylor Swift unrest, or the general disdain for super teams everywhere, but fans just don't seem as thrilled with this year's matchup. I'll admit, watching the same two unlikable contenders from 4 years ago fight it out again might not be what we wanted, but that doesn't mean it has to be bad, right? I'm Dave from Gridironic, and here are 5 reasons the Super Bowl could be awesome. Number 5, Christian McCaffrey's Super Bowl journey. Whether you like or hate Christian McCaffrey, it's almost certain that you respect him. Run CMC is one of the hardest working and most talented players in the whole NFL. He possesses the type of grit only found in champions. It's the type of grit players had 50 years ago. You know, the type that puffs out Dan Campbell's sweatpants. It's safe to say Christian learned that grit from his father, Eddie the Bruise McCaffrey. As most people know, Eddie McCaffrey was a legendary wide receiver who played for the Denver Broncos and won 3 Super Bowls during his career. A stat often forgotten is that Eddie's first Super Bowl ring came as a 49er in Super Bowl 29. CMC winning his first Super Bowl ring with the same team that his dad won a ring with would be pretty awesome to see. Number 4, the revenge factor. As I mentioned before, these teams met 4 years ago and they still don't like each other. The old wounds are still new, and with many of the team captains staying the same, memories have not faded. I expect tensions to rise next week during Media Week and for the game to get chippy early. Throw in the subplots of Jerick McKinnon, Richie James, and Shavarius Ward all wanting revenge on their old teams, and emotions will be running high. Toss in a little bad reffing or a lit match like Travis Kelce, Dre Greenlaw, or Trent Williams, and this powder keg might actually blow. Number 3, stacked assistants. Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan are 2 of the best offensive minds in the modern NFL. Just watching them coach a game between each other would be an event in itself, but this Super Bowl will be so much more. Both coaching staffs are absolutely loaded with talent. The Chiefs possess 2 former head coaches as their coordinators, Matt Nagy and Steve Spagnuolo. Both men underwhelmed as coaches, but are absolutely fantastic coordinators. The 49ers have it just as nice on the other side with defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, who rightfully should be the coach of the Panthers, and in my opinion, the greatest mind for running the football currently in the NFL, Anthony Lynn as the running backs coach. Give all 6 of these guys 2 weeks to prepare, and schematically, this could be one of the best Super Bowls ever. Number 2, Chris Jones versus Trent Williams. If you're a fan of big, meaty men slapping meat, well, this one's for you. These guys are 2 of the strongest interior forces in all of football, and they'll be going head-to-head. It's clearly the marquee matchup of this game, and it's going to be awesome. We've seen Trent Williams absolutely embarrass pass rushers this season, mainly Micah Parsons, but we've also seen a few players like Myles Garrett get the better of him. If this is Chris Jones' last game as a Chief, I'm sure he'd like to get a sack, but to get it, he's going to have to run through a brick wall. And number 1, the quarterback battle. Here's a hot take right away. Brock Purdy is undefeated in the postseason. Okay, yes, the stat sheet says this is untrue because he got hurt on the opening drive of the NFC Championship game last year, and the 49ers lost the game, so technically he's undefeated in every postseason game that he's completed. People say he is a game manager, systems quarterback, he's a product of the talent around him. Nothing I've seen tells me that's true. I challenge you to find a quarterback who throws a better crossing route. You can't do it. I've seen enough athleticism, poise, excellent throws, and leadership to know that he will be great someday. And speaking of great, this guy, Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs, you may have heard this before, but he's actually pretty great too. And that's our list. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I hope that everyone enjoys the game. I'll definitely make more lists like this in the off season, but until then, I'm Dave from Gridironic, and I'll see you soon.